Peace, and blessings, family. It is yours truly, founder of Black Business and Finance Group, Alton D. Walden III. My queen, Dana Walden, is the co-founder. Thank you so much for tuning in to your Wealth Building Strategies program, where we focus on business and finance. We highlight individuals in the community like our good brother, Frank Goodman, in the building, who is making moves and causing things to move in the community. Like I always like to say, if nothing is moving, it's not a movement. Again, at this time, if you be so kind and share and invite, that'll be great. We get ready to dive in. We got a treat for you on this evening. Our brother is the CEO of Try and Build. Okay. And I'm telling you, man, I'm excited about having this brother on because he has created an app that is geared towards us. And that's a beautiful thing, family. For us, by us, a place where we could come together and have our own personal dialogue, our own family discussion. Okay, and we know that's necessary. So we're going to dive in. If you would be so kind, again, share and invite. Let us know what city and state you're tuning in from. That'd be great. Again, what city and state? That'd be great. Yes, sir. All right, family. We're not going to belay the time. We're getting ready to dive in here. Brother Frank, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
And I'm doing well, my brother. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on the platform. Our brother and I, we connected on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And you seen the work that I was doing. And I still remember you and I having that dialogue. And you sent me the link to go to the website, Trying to Build website, LLC. And I was like, this is absolutely phenomenal. I was so excited about going to the website and seeing how we as Black-owned entrepreneurs, we have a space for us to be able to put our businesses on the website, be able to shop with one another, to be able to practice cooperative economics. Man, I was just so excited about that, man. So talk to us, brother. Tell us, who you are and where you come from. Give us the backdrop about you and how did you become the Frank Goodman that we know today, that has the mindset to go into the community and make it more beautiful than it is before you inherited it, man.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. So as far as me, my background is most of my childhood. Well, my father was in the military, so most of my childhood was in the DMV area, some Arlington, some DC, some Maryland. Um, I did my undergrad out there in ODU. I did computer engineering, and then I did grad
Oh, did
GW.
you?
Yeah, then I did a grad at GW for system engineering. I went on to do Fortune 500 companies like Lockheed Martin, Booz Allen, Northrop Grumman, and companies like that. 2010, I got tired of the high fives, without real reward, and was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and start my own thing, right? And so I started a company, Bleeding Bulb, and that's all about business consulting, apps, websites, and marketing. And then as of recent, when the pandemic happened, it had me thinking like, after George Floyd happened shortly after that. I started to think about different conversations that I had with friends in the past, and we always used to talk about like, people ain't gonna do nothing but spill to the streets, maybe do some looting or something, and they're gonna go back home, and then when it happens again, it just kind of keep happening. The same thing just keeps happening.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about like, what would it take for us to really like have a sustainable community? Like, what would be necessary? like that you need like healthcare, you need banking, you need all these different things, education, but rehabilitation. And so we started to throw around different ideas about like, okay, how can we like, what's the quickest way to make some of this stuff happen? And at the time, we really kind of left it there. We shared some ideas, but it just that whole George Floyd, since it kind of like lingered for a while, and it really kind of showed some. It made me feel something different, like a lot of people probably feel, even though we know how. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, um, had the idea to say like after Clubhouse came out, I was like, man, like this is pretty cool, and I paid attention to how people were using it, and I was like, oh wow. So people, it started out like a lot of black people were on there. It seemed like it was all black app, like it was a black app. People were in there, they were happy, they were talking about how excited they were to see each other and talk to each other and build connections and relationships. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, this is pretty cool. And then next thing you know, like when they found out, like, hey, actually, this is not black owned, and they started marketing, they got more and more funding, they started to market to more and more people. You started to notice that rooms change, the whole demeanor. And it started to remind me of like the tiptoeing and things that we typically do, code switching and things like that we find ourselves doing on a day to day. And so I was like, you know what, like that's not a way to live. And like, what if we had a place to where we can unapologetically be us?
Yeah.
Like no tiptoeing, because the conversations definitely changed. Like I saw people on Clubhouse and they were like, having conversation, very lively. And then when the room started to look a little different, they fell to the back. And they definitely changed their whole demeanor, the way that they talk. Everything was a little different. And so I know it doesn't apply for everyone, but I just know that a lot of people go through life always trying to get the validation of other groups. And that plays into our whole like confidence and just like insecurities and things like that. And so I really just wanted to create something to where it's like not only can we talk how we want to talk and be who we are, but we can also keep the black dollar in the community, collect money, but keep the black dollar in the community longer, because like we keep it the shortest amount of time versus all groups basically. We're like the number one consumer, but we own like the least, right? So a lot of these different narratives that come with our actions, I was just like, you know, what's the quickest way to really get equality? Because that's what we've been fighting for. And after thinking on it, I was like, the quickest way to equality is probably, or not probably, the quickest way, I would just say the quickest way to equality is wealth, ownership, and unity. I feel like that's what's necessary in order for us to truly be valued and for us to really be seen in a certain type of light, right? It's not going to be begging or just repeatedly asking people for favors and asking for this and at the mercy of this. It's like we have to be more independent. Right now we're really dependent on the government and things like that to make things happen because we're so scattered. And and I understand why we're this way, but yeah, I really just wanted to create a platform, man, where it's like we can talk, we can support each other, we can really show that we support each other, because there's that whole notion of black people don't show up for each other. Like, oh, we got these ego problems and we have all these things, and it's like we need to show that we can show up. I mean, it's 44 million of us. And so just everything is
Indeed.
about building wealth. Everything is about building wealth. Everything is about making relationships that we can pass down to our kids. That's what a lot of other coaches do. Um, yeah, man, we just trying to go out there, bro. You know.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. I feel like we definitely, need to reconnect with that. And you're absolutely right. I like what you're doing because it is drawing our attention to what we need to do. You're not just talking about the problem, you're actually giving us the solution to the problem. And I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that about you, brother Frank, when you and I we dialogue, man. I can tell that you're a brother that's a solutionary. And I love the mindset that you have about us gathering together and us having these dialogues. You know what I come to find that it's sad, man, for us to be afraid to have a family discussion.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad that we don't comprehend the fact that we're having a family discussion, and for us to be concerned about us, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and to me, it's like saying that the example I like to use is a parent being reprimanded because they're tending to their child's needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's family love. You know, and we have to get rid of this mindset that we're being, you know, separatists because we want to have a family discussion with our family and talk about our social ills, and we present the remedy to our social ills. And I believe in Kuji Chagalia. Kwanzaa is right around the corner, family. I believe we need to speak for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? We need to speak for ourselves. We don't need nobody else speaking for us.
I agree.
You know
Man.
what I'm saying? Because no other ethnic group has went through what we have went through as a people.
Mm-hmm.
No ethnic group. You know what I'm saying? The Holocaust can't compare. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to hear about what happened to their people. You know, even to the indigenous people of this continent. You know, the various tribes. You know, the Blackfoots, the Tsalagi, you know, etc. Still, they suffer. You know, and I feel sorry for their people too. But nobody has suffered as long as us.
Yeah.
Nobody has been taken away from their land like us. Land may have been taken away from the ones here, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't taken literally away from their homeland and brought to a whole nother continent and was forced, you know, to take upon, you know, somebody else's way of life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's unjust for us to not be able to voice our love for ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or even like, yeah, man, it's a lot of self-hate too, man. It's just so many different things to unpack. And that's why I felt this was so important, because it's like at the end of the day, every conversation isn't for everyone. Like right now, there's certain things that we talk about that isn't for everyone's ears. Like it's like you said, it's a family discussion. Some things that we have to get to the bottom of, like some of this rooted, like whether it be hate or distrust, like we have some serious issues in our community that are not all of our fault, but like we're at the point now to where we can take account of, like we can do something about it, right?
Yes,
like
we can.
there's a way to
I agree.
heal, there's a way to figure it out, but it starts with conversation, and it's not a conversation full of people that aren't involved in our situation. Our situation is very unique, like you said. And so like we really have to be able to get comfortable having certain conversations. It's okay to disagree, be respectful. And that's the beginning of a lot of the problems the beginning of the end of a lot of the problems that we're facing right now,
You're absolutely right. And I feel
Yeah.
like if we all had more of a mindset, because it's not enough of us to have a go back home mindset after we learn something, take it back home. It's not that we don't have the wealth. We just are not about self, with our wealth. You know what I mean? And I really feel like if those who become billionaires, those who become millionaires, those who become six-figure earners, if we take that information back to the community, because it's not just giving our people dollars, what I'm saying? It's more to it than that. You know what I mean? Because if you give a poor-minded person, a person who's poor in spirit, if you give them resources, they'll still be poor because they have a poor mindset. They don't have a wealthy mindset. You know what I mean? So I really feel like it's more to it than that too, because that's what we talking about. We talking about build, right? So
Right.
I love the title of the business, because that's what we're doing. We're helping to build. I believe we need to build the mindset of the people before the infrastructures come. You know what I'm saying? Because if you give a person that doesn't have the right mindset, if you put them in a good place, they'll cause disorder, because they still here, they're still not where they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we get
Absolutely.
upset with the entertainers, with the athletes, and what are you doing and why? You know, and you know, I believe we need to start being more considerate of the fact that they've been cut off from a family-oriented mindset, just like some of us were before we woke up and recognized what actually has happened to us, that we are literally out of our mind because we've been taken outside of our culture. And now I'm talking about that's family. We've been cut off from that mindset. We didn't lose anything. You can't misplace your culture. It's not like a coin where you can misplace it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've been cut off from that, you know, and we have to reconnect with that mindset, because the family makes up the village and the village makes up the nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And until we grasp that, until we unify, you know, we're going to continue to be in the situation we're in until we bring together our resources. And I'm not just talking about economics, I'm talking about our intellectual property that teach each other how to start acquiring property, you know, how to gain, grow, sustain, and protect, you know, our wealth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. No, I totally agree. I totally agree, man.
You
Absolutely.
know, please expound more, because I mean, you and I, we had a wonderful dialogue, man. And I remember you said how people would be afraid if they seen someone, you know, saying they don't look like us come into the room. And you know, I like your platform because we don't have to be concerned about being banned.
Yeah.
We don't have to be concerned
It won't be
about
silent.
algorithm, you
It
know.
won't be silence.
Exactly. You know, we can share Black-owned businesses and we can proudly put Black-owned businesses, okay? And we don't have to argue with nobody about, well, why does your business say Black? Why is it just you know what I mean? We can have
Absolutely.
that dialogue without all the friction and tension, with all these shook people, you know what I'm saying, that they're scared, you know what I'm saying, about somebody misunderstanding their love for their family. And that's sad that we are afraid to love each other. We are afraid to be proud
Bro.
of who and what we are. You know what I'm
Somehow,
saying?
somehow this thing has happened to where it's like, even when I present this kind of this thing to some people, it's like people will literally be like,
Brother LeVar.
it's all black, like it's for black, it's for black. Like a lot of people can't say it. It's for black. It's for the black community. If you want to be an ally and you want to contribute, you can contribute. But it's for black people. And it doesn't mean that you dislike, like you're not anti anything because you are proud and you want to help your community. That doesn't make me anti-white. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't
Exactly.
mean I don't have white friends or colleagues or whatever. Like it's
Exactly. It's just a family meeting.
sometimes you just want to be with family.
Yeah. Do
Sometimes
anybody
you
ever
just
ask
want to
that
have a
question about
talk.
a family reunion?
Oh my God, bro. It just kills me, bro, because it's like people will literally act like if you say black power, if you say like it's for black, people get so afraid, like I gotta be affiliated. I'm gonna be known to be affiliated with this group that's like it's just a group of just black people. Like we gotta be like it should always be open to everybody. Those behind closed doors aren't open to us. Like this is our opportunity to have a behind closed doors. You know, like there's certain conversations every time that we want to strategize. And when a George Floyd situation happens, people just spill to the street, no structure, no result. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't last very long. Like it may seem like I'm not saying that there's no progress being made. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying like if you really want real change, it's gonna come with structure. It's gonna come with being more intentional. Like you're gonna have to think through things a little bit more, and people are gonna have to wait for their thumbs up. Like allies should not spill to the street before our community say we want to go to the street. You should wait for our direction. But right now, we got people that will just straight like create their own situation. And it's just like they'll be like, oh, this is what we're gonna do to help y'all. This like, yo, sometimes you gotta sit back and let us figure it out. because these are things that directly impact us. And then how we want to leverage you as an ally if you're down for the cause. We want to be able to leverage you in that kind of way. But I think we just have to have order. Like there has to be structure. You know what I mean? Because
No
right
doubt.
now, man, like the best thing people are doing right now is like, oh, but we got hashtag Black Twitter, we got hashtag Black. Like you still talking to everybody. Oh, in Clubhouse we got a room, but they record everything. Like you know what I mean? Like they're in all the rooms. Like what are you really talking? So if we really had to strategize and we came up with a wealth play and we're like, hey, we're about to buy this up, we're about to buy that up. You put it all over the internet for them to know exactly what you're trying to do. Everything that we want to do, we let the world know before we do it. And all I'm saying is sometimes you want to close the door and just talk to the family, take a post check, make sure everybody good, see what people need, and do whatever you need to do and home. It's like how my parents would be like, you know, you don't argue outside of the house. Like if you got a problem, wait till you get home and we'll handle that. But we ain't gonna be out here in public putting our business on the street. You just don't need to do it. You keep it in house. And it's the same thing. Like there's so much bickering and all of this. Like let's have our disagreements over here. You know what I mean? And even when it comes to voting, you know, even when it comes to voting, I asked so many people. All right, when it comes to voting, they always on the media and say, this is the black vote. This is what black people care about. This is what the black community said. Black people said. I've never got a survey in my life asking me how I feel about a topic. So I'm trying to understand where's the sample coming from. And so we have a platform where we can vote. Like we're telling you, no, the president, these are our demands. This is what we want as the black community. And we sampled X amount of people. Like this is a real thing because I've never been sent, like I've never gotten a survey in my life. And I've never met someone that said, oh yeah, that stuff that come on the news. Like I get that all the time, bro. I never heard it. So I'm just saying,
I get it.
Must be more. We could just be more like, just more transparent. We could be more on the same page, and we could just really start to make real impact because, like, it's gonna take us together. It's not no one on the outside, and it's not to make a divide. Like this wasn't made out of hate. This isn't me going through life saying, "Oh, I hate white people. I just want to get away from them." Like it's not all about that. You get what I'm saying? This is about the only way to fix our problems is going to come from us making the decision to fix our problems. It's not going to come from someone on the outside telling us what we got to do as a community. We know what we got to do. We got to make the decision to do what we know is necessary. That's it.
Absolutely, man. I love that mindset, man. You know, I love that, man. What you said is absolutely correct. And I like the solutionary attitude. That's why I brought you on here, because Black Business and Finance Group, I say this all the time. We know what our problem is. Now it's time to bring, you know, the solution to it. And we know what our ailments are. Now it's time to bring the remedies for those ailments, man. That's one reason why I brought you on here, because I believe that build, you know, is one of the many movements that's out here, because I definitely will not discredit our other brothers and sisters that's putting in the sweat equity and that's doing the same.
Absolutely.
Throughout the world, you know, doing the same, bridging that gap, you know, like Pan-Africanism, bringing us all together as one, because we are one, you know. And I believe that we need to understand that I don't care if you wasn't born in America. You know what I'm saying? Half of our ancestors was left over on the continent called Africa, right? And so even though they may not have came over here, does it still stop the fact that they still suffer pain with their relatives being pulled away from them and them feeling powerless and never seeing them again? You understand what I'm saying? We become so insensitive, like because they wasn't over here getting whipped and because they wasn't going. Listen, man, when you love your family, they can be in New York, and if your cousin is weeping over your auntie passing away, you're gonna feel the same pain.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're not in the same geographical location because of the matter of the heart.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I really feel like that we need to really stop this foolishness, man. You know what I'm saying? We are one. You know, no matter how many degrees we have, no matter how many, businesses we own, no matter how much money we make, what type of car we drive, what type of neighborhood we live in, the house we live in, man, we are still one. You know what I mean? And I really feel like that instead of us looking down on each other when we get up, we need to start looking down and see who we can help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And share that information. And I also feel like we need to stop this sense of entitlement too. You know what I'm saying? Because we all grown. You know what I mean? And it's not, I believe, the one who succeeds job to come in and do everything for you. No, we'll give you the information. You know what I'm saying? But you need to apply the information to bring transformation in your life and in your family life, in our community life.
Yeah. 100%.
You understand what I'm saying? I think it's this beef, man. It's this beef with successful Black people, with people who just sit around and they complain all day and they're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
This little red hen story situation. You want us to put in all the sweat equity while you sit there folding your hands and kicking up your feet. You know what I'm saying? And we getting up 5 and 6 days a week, putting in 16 hours, and then you want us to come back to the neighborhood and here you go.
Yeah.
We got this for free type of attitude too, man. We got to get rid of this.
But I think
because we got to feed our families too. Africans, or Black people that have worked to be successful, we worked. You know what I mean? And we got to get up, get out, and get something, man. That's why I like it's called build. I like that it's called build because we all got to put our hands to the plow to build our nation.
Yeah.
All of us, not just, well, you rich, bro. Oh, you rich, sis. Okay, what's your point? Yeah. We had to work to become rich. You think we just gonna, you just gonna come to our house and sit at the table while we work all day long and feed you and cut your food up and certain? No. You better get your behind up and go to work.
Yeah.
Period.
I think it's just tough because it's like, and this is where the conversations behind closed doors is about, right? Because it's like it's one of those things to where we know why that mindset exists, and we know how a lot of views that we have is the way that it is. Like we've been conditioned to behave a certain way and been put in certain situations to kind of create the way that we think and navigate through life. And so I just think it's tough, man, because it's like, yeah, I think there's definitely people that are truly just lazy. But it's almost like the person that grows up and like they do certain things that are like acting out and they land up in some crazy situation and they locked up, and then you hear their story and you hear about how they was molested and you hear about how they was this, that, and the other. Even a molester, like a lot of times they were molested, and stuff like that. And it's just like some of this stuff is just like, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying it's unfortunate that like a lot of the actions and the behaviors come from their parents. And it's the way they was raised. It's like a lot of them are just modeling their parents. And it's like, yeah, at a certain age, you got to be like, okay, well, this is where you draw the line. You ain't a kid anymore. Like, you need to break out of this, but it's definitely hard, especially in a small town when, all you know is this. And then somebody just telling you, oh, just do something different. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think like it's complex. I think our whole situation is very complex, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of talk, and it takes a lot of action. You know what I mean? But it's like right now, we're all like, it looks like Black people are doing well, but the Black community is weak. So people individually are starting to make some
where
money.
that vision come from. I don't know
Yeah,
where that
because
vision
they'll
coming
see,
from
like, say
because
for instance, if you're looking through Instagram or you're looking through something, it seems like there's
shoot,
all of a sudden all these Black people that are doing so well, but they're doing well individually, or they got their little small circles, but it's like the community as a whole is just broken. You know what I mean?
exactly,
It's like
exactly,
what
brother.
you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
is great for you, but like the
Right.
community is broken, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so
Absolutely, man.
it's a tough situation, man. I just think that
No,
we
I
really
like what
have
you're
to find
saying.
a way.
I like
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah,
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about what you're saying, man. You know, and like I said, I'm not about the complaining, you know what I'm saying, or the blaming. You know, okay, we know what happened. That's the reason why, like I said, I started what I started. And that's why I share
mhm,
free information too, because I know everybody is not at the point where they can afford certain
yeah,
curriculum. You know what I'm saying? So I give our people starter kits. I literally give people information that people literally pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for. You know, we
mhm,
have a financial service, Sky Legacy Financial Services, where we charge, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, for some of the information that we put out. So we make a contribution because we understand our people's struggle. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, it's not a lot of our fault, like you said, that we're
yeah,
programmed, you know what I'm saying, to be in the mindset that we're in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we don't think
yeah.
about life
It's not the
insurance.
natural us,
We don't
it's
think
just
about those
like,
things.
but it became us because of all these different things. And so, like, when you try to undo centuries, and it's just like that's deep condition, like it's so deep. You know what I mean? It's like, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever just said we missing community, that's exactly what we're missing. Unity.
Yeah,
You
Sister
know what I
Tammy,
mean?
she said that.
Absolutely, we're missing unity. It just shows Facebook user for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. I can see
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, but I'm telling you, bro, like without unity, like, I mean, we got to think about the kids, like people are passing, like everyone talks about passing out money. People are passing out relationships, and that's worth more than money. Who the positions they in, like the degrees that separate, all of that stuff, that's important. We got to find a way to easily find, and just build relationships. And I think, like, that's something we're really going to benefit from. And I think another thing is when people, start to draw comparisons and be like, oh, is it like a clubhouse and all of that? It's like there's also a nonprofit one. Like like this is about building. You know what I mean? This isn't built. This is build. So it is about people that are trying to go further than where they are. You know what I mean? Without unity, we will continue to
Yes,
reject
indeed.
knowledge. Absolutely, absolutely. And the
Do
thing
you have a
is, man,
YouTube channel?
huh?
Excuse me, excuse me, pardon me. I want you to finish your thought.
Yeah. What were we saying?
Now, I was getting ready to ask you, like, do you have like a YouTube channel, like, where people can come and get more content, or is it just straight on build right now?
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is we actually just had our first interview for a podcast, right? So we're gonna be doing a build podcast, where we highlight builders building. And so the whole concept is like, if you go on Instagram, it seems like everybody's rich, everyone's a guru, or everyone's all this and the other. Like, build is a place where you're actually going to be able to find accountability partners. We hold each other accountable. We encourage each other to let go, not be perfectionists. Like, you can find other people that are building. We're not acting like we're built. Everyone is on a journey trying to do better than where they at. You know what I mean? And
Oh
like,
yeah,
even with
most
the
definitely.
community, yeah. So even with the community, even though we have things that we could do for fun, we have all the topics for us to have whatever conversations we need to have. And as far as giving back to the community, we're gonna have like a $3 a month option if people want to sign a pledge or whatever. It's not really signing a pledge, but essentially every month we'll take the funds and we'll vote on causes. So you'll be able to submit causes. We'll do a $3. It came off of like politics, how they take small donations, and we show that numbers matter. There's no hierarchy or anything. Everybody gives the same amount. If you want to give a one-time donation, you can, but we just work off of $3 a month. That way, everyone know that they can hit $3. Person that's homeless can scrape up $3. So we want to be available for anyone to be able to contribute if they want to, right? And we're going to take that every month, and whoever contributes, they get to vote where that bread goes per region. And so you assign yourself to a region, we collect the bread, and we vote on initiatives. So everything is about, like, it's a full circle. It's not just we're building wealth because we have like in-app consulting, right? Like inside of there, you can go from having a group discussion to saying, hey, schedule on my calendar. You know, like you could do that right there, you know, and that could be a video conversation for consulting one-on-one, right? You could turn around and be like, hey, look, I just associated products and services with my profile. Because when you're talking to other people, they're going to click on your profile, and that allows them to see your products, your services. They can book on your calendar. So if you're in there and you have conversations and you're spitting knowledge, like people can say, hey, look, I need a one-on-one. And this could really be filling up a calendar, and you set the time that you're available, and you set the cost, the price that you want to charge. So it's all about building wealth. It's not a charity thing. However, we also got to pay it forward, and we got to understand the importance of community. And we know that sometimes the elderly gets put in situations like, you know, taxes, all of a sudden they hike up taxes so that they can take you home, right? So they can no longer afford taxes, which means they're going to get their home taken away from them, right? And so they end up paying pennies on the dollar to acquire a home that could be worth $500,000 at least if you're in this area or something like this, right? Or higher. And we could say, nah, we're voting that we're going to take care of this lady. Taxes. She's not getting booted out this house. That's how we started to handle our own problems. Like, we're not begging the government. Like, we deserve reparations, but we don't really need it. If we have each other, like, we don't need it. If we deserve it, yes. So anybody that's like, no, we got to fight, like, keep fighting. That's cool. But I'm saying, why people are fighting, how about we be leveraging each other? You know, like, we have $1.8 trillion buying power. 1.8 trillion. If 44 million of us, if we gave $1 each, we could be making each other millionaires every day if we wanted to, and just give $1 a day, we could be making 30 millionaires. I mean, it's just like we have resources. We just can't leverage them because we're scattered. If we bring ourselves together as a unity, as a community, and create unity, right? Then we can start having these real situations, because what ends up happening is, even if you're an entrepreneur, for example, you got to grind and work so hard to get to the top, right? You got to do all this stuff. I got 96 no's. I couldn't get funding and all this other stuff. Like, why can't you just pitch to your community? You know what I mean? Like, you can't, because you ain't got no relationships in your community. Because what these investors will say, if you go to a VC, and I've been to some, and they'll be like, oh, we're Black-owned VC. And you'll be like, oh, I got a one-up. I'm good. They probably going to look out, right? And then you get in there and they be like, yeah, but we're actually backed by Chase and all these other white companies. So really, they're just a face. Every Black-owned VC in general is backed by white companies. And so they raise their fund based on white dollar. It takes 10 signatures to actually be able to sign a check. So then they'll tell you, hey, you should start with friends and family. The average Black person cannot call their uncle, sister, or anybody for $50. How you going to raise 60,000 or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, we ain't set up for success. That's why the community is so important for us to come together, because that one little dollar that you spend, if you want to give it, when we have the numbers, that $1 is $60K in a day. That's your funding for just $1. You know, but we ain't got that. We don't have it set up.
Yeah.
So instead,
we got to deal with accountability.
Do your friends and family. Then try angels and all of that. And then we got to worry about the Black discount, right? What they would give this person, that's not what they would probably give us. What this person qualified for, we may not qualify, and they can make their own reasons for it. But if you look at the lineup, it can look very similar and have very different outcomes. And so how about we stop like begging and trying to do all of these things? I'm not saying don't fight for the laws and things to get changed. Like, everybody is here to play their part. We all got different things that we're doing to move forward. This is just the thing that I'm trying to contribute. Like, I'm contributing in this way. You know what I mean? But it's going to take a group effort. It's going to take us to be behind it and say, you know what? We are going to build together. I'm putting this ego to the side, because I know I may not I may not even have a lot of money. It doesn't matter the
Mm-hmm.
situation I am. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're talking $3, I could do that. If you're
Yes.
talking like when you said $1, like you right. If I believe in somebody's dream, why not make their dream possible by giving $1? Like two
And this
dollars
is
or
for
whatever
us
I can
anyway.
afford. It's for
Yeah, it's for
us.
us. It's for us. It's
It's
for
for
us, man.
us.
Just like Sankofa repatriation program. You know how, my wife and I, we donate to that on a monthly basis. You know what I'm saying? To help families to move back to the motherland and to be able to get
Yeah,
situated over there. You know what I'm saying?
man, that's
That's
dope,
why
bro.
we started the Black Business and Finance Group, man. It's for us to bring together our intellectual property and for us to give our people information, because information will take people farther than a dollar would in some cases.
Correct.
In certain
Right.
situations, of
Yeah.
course, we need
Yeah.
economics to fund our dreams and our vision.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously need capital to do that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't know how to gain, grow, sustain, and protect your wealth, then you will not have a solid structure economically to even run your business. And another thing is, a lot of times we don't even know how to start a business properly. So what I'm saying is that we need the information too, not just money, because
Mm-hmm.
like I said, money without information, you're still powerless.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still powerless because you don't know what to do with the resources that you have. You
Yeah.
don't understand that you need to register your business. You need to get, business credit. You need to get a Dun and Bradstreet number and go get your business credit. And you know what I'm saying? How to establish your business so you can be fundable. Because see, we talk about being denied a lot. You see what I'm saying? But a black-owned bank will deny you too if you don't have your
Absolutely.
paperwork together.
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's not always just because of you being black. Sometimes it's because your business is not set up for you to be fundable. And this
100%.
is why I keep telling people we got to stop doing under the table business, because it keeps us under the table. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? We got to learn how to scale up. It sounds good that we need to hire our people, but are they making enough profit? Not just, okay, I made six figures. Did you profit six figures? Meaning after all your expenses, you have
Yeah.
enough left over for you to hire somebody that look like you. So what I'm saying is, these are the type of conversations that we have to have with each other so
You're
we
right.
can help each other to structure our businesses properly so we can get the funding. And also, family, connect with a brother like myself. I could connect you with people who look like us that can get you business funding. Yeah. I got a friend who's my mentor who look just like us. He's a hard money lender too. You know what I'm saying? He's our mentor that teaches us real estate. You understand? So we have people that's out here, like you said, but we're not connecting. I believe a lot of times it's our ego tripping that keeps us
That's
tripping.
what it is, bro. Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's like
saying?
that's a huge killer. It's a huge killer in our community. Like killer of potential. You know what I mean? Like killer of potential. Because like, bro, it's just like I was talking to somebody the other day. Yesterday, I ran into two brothers, and one guy he owned like two what it was like two Smoothie Kings, had like a CBD shop, he was doing all of this stuff, like great stuff, right? In crypto space and all of that. We're thinking about leveraging him for a crypto wallet, potentially like as different incentives and things within build and stuff like that to get into crypto. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it's just like it's just an introduction. Like the guy already knew him, but it's just people don't understand the value of like relationships. It just speeds up everything. You don't have to be alone. Like so many entrepreneurs feel so alone. He even said, "I feel like I'm on an island." I'm like, why?
Yes.
Why do we
Yes.
all feel like we're on an island? Why do we all feel alone? It's like, how about we talk about it? How about we push each other? How about we hold each other accountable? How about we set goals and make sure that we achieve them? You know what I mean? Like, but instead, you got all these people on Instagram, all these followers. You got all these followers. How you still alone? Because it ain't real. You get what I'm saying? Like
No
you ask
doubt.
these people to show up, they won't. They won't show up. They got to think twice to leave a comment. Like it's not real. And so I'm just saying, like, when anytime that people ever try to run a comparison, first, I love what you're doing, bro. I respect it and I appreciate it. And I
Thank you,
appreciate even
brother.
being
All
on here,
praises.
man. I
Give
really
thanks,
do,
man.
you know. But I'm telling you right now, bro, we gotta wake up. Like we gotta leverage each other because like time goes by fast. And like you will find that the more that you start to connect with people, like it's just shortcut out the shortcut. And it's not cheating because you worked hard for the role that you're supposed to play in that connection. Like if I've worked 12 years and just strictly small business and just doing this and tech and all of that, you don't need to work 12 years. But if you worked on connections and all of that, we gonna come together and that's our shortcut. Like you're that missing piece of the puzzle. And so I'm just saying, man, it's so much is gonna be changed when we start building real relationships and we really start showing up for each other. There's no reason for a person to launch a business or launch a restaurant and nobody show up.
No doubt, man.
It happens
No
all the
doubt.
time, bro.
That's true, man. That's true.
You gotta
That's
show
true.
up, bro. People talk all the time. We love to talk. It'd be like, oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Even downloading, you could, man, the people closest to you. Hey yo, you download? Nah, I ain't get to it yet, bro. I'm gonna do that though, probably like next month. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. I
Well,
get
the
it. It's
truth
the
is,
people that you
some
don't know.
people
It's the people
unfortunately
you don't know.
unfortunately, man, people hate. You know,
Bro,
secret
it's the people that you
haters.
don't
People,
know that's gonna get you there, man.
well, you know, yeah, in some cases, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, it's that spirit, unfortunately, of jealousy, you know what I'm saying, that gets a hold of a lot of us, and a lot of us don't like to see people shine. You know what I'm saying? You know, they want to throw shade on you. You know what I'm saying? And I notice that a lot. We take each other down. You know, we get jealous, you know, and unfortunately, you know, we end up bad mouthing each other, you know, and sometimes even if we're in the same industry or you my competition, you know what I'm saying? And me, here's what people got to understand. There's trillions of dollars out there.
Mm-hmm.
Trillions, billions. So what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
There's more. There's more than enough money. Ask Elon Musk them that. Ask Jeff Bezos that. You know what I'm saying? Ask Robert W. Smith, who's one of ours, that. Ask LeBron James that, who, although he's a billionaire, he still keep playing and making more money. There,
But think about this
there's
though.
more. There's more. You got NBA players, NFL players, baseball players making millions of dollars. Rihanna, she just became a billionaire. So you're not going to tell me. Now think about this. Now I want y'all to pay close attention. NFL players more than one are making millions. They're in the same industry, but they're making millions. Think about
But
it.
I think even
Actors
beyond that,
actors are in the same industry and they're making millions. But you, for some reason, you know what I'm saying? You're afraid to help your brother and sister in the same industry. There's more than enough money for us to go around. I'm a life insurance producer. I'm not the only one making all this money in this industry. There's more than enough money for it to go around for us. More than enough money. But for some reason, we're intimidated. You know, we're afraid to help the next person because, they may outshine us or they may exceed us. You know what I'm saying? And things of this nature. Well, so be it. I'm going to celebrate their wins because if they're in the right spirit, when they win, we all win.
yeah.
But anyway, man, you know what I'm saying?
But I think one of the things though, bro, I think one of the things though is not even always just on the hate. Well, I guess it kind of is like hate, but for a long time, bro, like think about like certain things are said for a reason, like token black person, for example, right? Like for a long time, we were almost trained that it could be only one of us in a high powered position. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like we really think that only one of us could be there. Like we're trained to think that way. Like it can't be a lot of black people in power in one place. Like from corporate America to whatever. If you see one, you know what I mean, big wig up there, like a lot of people just think like it can only be one. It can only be onesie twosies. Because that's what we see on a day to day, especially people in corporate America. You don't normally see people of color at the top of the ranks. So I think like that still goes to
That's
us
a
being
fact.
conditioned. It still goes to us being conditioned. Sometimes I don't think it's just like they hate on you, but like they kind of protecting their position because they're thinking like, man, like what if they choose between one of us? You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know, man. We got a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a
crazy stuff to be
competition,
dealing with, bro.
but nevertheless,
But
man,
that
look
token
at
black
it
guy,
that way. But yeah, man, it was good to have you on the bill, man.
yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? We appreciate you coming on, family. Listen,
You
for
know
those of
it.
you who want to join, you want to register your business, here goes the website right there. You can actually uh download the app that's there too. And you can do it from, if I'm not mistaken, right, bro, from the website, correct?
So from the website, they can put in the information. It hasn't been launched, so you'll be playing with it in beta. So I'll shoot you a link out that you fill out the form on the website.
Okay. So as he said, as he
Yeah.
said, well, brother, you have any last words for us, so we can shut it
Nah,
down?
man. Hey, nah, I appreciate you having me on, and for the Black Business and Finance Group. I appreciate y'all listening in. It was great talking with y'all, and I look forward to hearing from y'all later.
Yes, indeed, family. Well, family, we thank you all so much for tuning in to the Black Business and Finance Group. Listen, we have a powerful lineup for you coming up, even within the next couple of weeks here. Okay, we have a good sister by the name of Stephanie Wynn. She's an author. Okay, she's a financial strategist as well, helping people to build businesses and start books. And she comes from the financial industry. Okay, she's going to be on next week on Thursday for the Wealth Building Strategies program. The week thereafter, that's going to be next week, going to be October the 14th. And on October the 18th, we're going to have Quebec Minor in the building. Okay, she's going to come on. Okay, and she's also in the financial industry as well. So on here, we deal with business. Again, we deal with economics. Okay, we both know again. How it goes when it comes to information. We all know this, right? So this is what we're here to do. Okay, we're here to deliver what we're not being delivered. Okay, so if you want to learn business, how to do business right, okay, and if you want to learn how to gain, grow, and sustain and protect your wealth, this is the program for you. Listen, you can also join the Black Business and Finance Group. Let me put up the information for you. So you can go there. You can join us there as well. You can join for free. Okay, remember, it's a starter kit that we give you in the group. All right. It's a starter kit that you can get. Okay, inside of that group. Okay, we deal with trust. Okay, I have a program in there about trust. We have estate planning. Okay, I'm dealing with financing and budgeting. Okay, I'm teaching you about various financial strategies. I fully retired at the age of 39. My wife, she came off her job from being a W-2 employee to being self-employed via budgeting and investing. I learned about budgeting and investing with both real estate investors, control properties free and clear. Okay. Have multiple online stores where we yielded six figures. All right. So, we want to be a blessing to you. We're building an empire. We want to help you and your family do the same. We both are from the hood. Both are from the hood. Not boasting. What I'm here to tell you is your ethnicity and your gender and your zip code is not a showstopper. The only thing that can stop you is your mindset. Your mindset will set you back or it will set you up to succeed. Have a blessed one.
All right.